Good morning, everyone. Karina Bolster here. We'll give it a couple of seconds for some folks who are already awake to go ahead and tune into this Facebook Live. All right, good morning. I'm seeing those numbers start to trickle in. Wanted to give it a couple of seconds for some other folks to tune in before I jump into some of the details that we've gotten overnight regarding this incident, so I don't have to repeat myself immediately. All right, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday. We are in downtown Richmond right now, essentially really the Fan District specifically, where Richmond fire crews responded around 10:30 last night for a report of a fire at William Fox Elementary School. What happened was, from what we're told, I'm going to flip around the camera. They got a report of a fire on top of the building here at the school, and when they arrived, they saw a lot of heavy smoke and flames shooting out from the roof right above the main entrance here on Hanover Avenue. From what we understand is obviously crews got right to work trying to put out that fire, but it quickly spread across the top of the building. So what you're seeing right now, and actually I'm going to zoom in here, you can really see the sky through this window. So at some point, we know 40 minutes later, the roof actually started to collapse as these fire crews were battling these flames. And so immediately all crews pulled back and attacked this fire defensively. That's technically the term that the fire industry uses. And so they ended up coming out on the outside, tried to put the flames out, but it took several hours before the crews were able to get everything under control here on Hanover Avenue. And I'm just going to walk along the sidewalk here to give you an idea of really what the damage looks like, and it is significant. You can see that the hoses are still pulled out from several of the fire trucks that are on scene. Chrissy, it was a 3-alarm fire. I know some of you are asking that. And so it was really all hands on deck from Richmond Fire. You'll see there are numerous fire engines that are placed on the streets surrounding the school. We've got a ladder that's up there right now. And of course, crews are still on scene because what they're doing is they're monitoring the hot spots that may pop off. Even though from what it appears, they've pretty much knocked down everything. But, some of those embers may reignite again. And so that's why you've got the crews on scene to make sure it doesn't go up in flames again. But if I can zoom through this window, you'll see, apologies, I'm on my cell phone. You'll see the water that's really just being sprayed in this section of the building right now. And again, that is to try and quell any hot spots that may be still simmering there. But really, you look at this and it's devastation. I spoke with the Richmond City Council member who represents this district, and she found out about this through a text message. She was asleep last night and then woke up to the text saying, "Did you know this happened? You got to get down there." So she immediately came on down here, and she's just been walking around the building this morning, and her heart's broken. She had her kids who went to this elementary school, but one thing she did say is that the family here at William Fox Elementary is a tight one. They're resilient, they are strong, and they will get through this. But of course, right now there's just a lot of shock going on. So her heart is with all of those families right now. We know Democratic Senator Jennifer McClellan, her children do attend this elementary school as well. She took to social media last night saying that she's dreading having to tell her kids about the news of their school catching fire last night. So it's certainly a difficult conversation to try and have with your kids who may go here. Giving you another idea of kind of what we're looking at here. I know many of you had asked what was the cause of the fire. Right now, that's still under investigation. So, and that may take some time due to the extent of the damage. I mean, just looking at it from here on the ground, it looks like the damage goes all across the top floor, and that's not even factoring in what kind of water damage this building may have now as well, because obviously these crews have been using the hoses and the ladders with the hoses on top to really knock these flames down. Now again, this is the main entrance here where crews first responded, and this was where that first report was of flames coming from the top of the building over the main entrance. And according to that Richmond City Councilor, we know plans are already underway between the city and Richmond Public Schools to figure out what the next step for these students will be here at the school. By the estimate from the Virginia Department of Education, I believe there are around 370-ish students who actually attend this school right now, and that number may have changed since the last data was posted. So you're looking at over 350 students who are now, and their families, that are kind of left up in the air of, where do we go from here come this Monday. So obviously city leaders working to figure out a plan to move forward from here. We do know, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but the building itself was built back in 1911. So it's one of the city's oldest schools. And so many calling it historic. A lot of you commenting, saying that your kids went there, you graduated from the elementary school here. So it's a beloved building. Oh boy. We just had a big old spray of water come over here. I apologize if I scared you by the old oh boy, but you can see the water really coming through the trees there. Apologies, it's a bit difficult to see on my cell phone. But we know last night, while all of this was happening, there was quite a crowd that came out here to see, and there's obviously a lot of folks who are stopping by to take pictures and see what's going on. But I did, again, as I mentioned, speak with Catherine Jordan, who's the counselor for this district, and she's urging anyone who does not live in this area, do not come down to the scene to take photos. They are obviously still working to preserve the scene and make sure there's no other issues that may arise. So again, her advice is please don't come down. Let these first responders do their job, do their work, so that way this area can get cleared up as quickly as possible and the investigation can continue.
She's right. She just doesn't do it.
You can see several windows are broken out here on this end of the building. And we do understand that Richmond Public Schools Superintendent Jason Cameras was also on scene last night, kind of assessing everything as this was happening. We're, of course, waiting an update from him and city leaders, as I just mentioned, on what the plan will be come Monday for these students and teachers and all the faculty here that make up the family at William Fox Elementary. Oh, here we got more water coming through the side of the building. Now again, we do not know the cause of the fire at this point. That is going to take some time because there is clearly extensive damage that was done to this school as a result of the fire. So they're trying to pinpoint the origin of where it may have started. While we do know the reports came in saying there was a fire that that broke out on the roof, on the top floor rather, above the main entrance. We're not exactly sure if that's specifically where specifically there the fire may have started. Sorry. But again, crews have been on scene all night, and you know, we have to give credit to them because they really have been working hard trying to put this fire out as quickly as possible. I know that we got that first report at 10:30, and then the second alarm sounded, I believe, around 10:50 p.m. And then finally, I believe there was a third alarm at 11:09. I'm using my other phone to figure out those times specifically, but they didn't have this under control until about 2:45 this morning. So you're talking almost 3 hours after that third alarm sounded, which is it's mind-boggling. Yes, so I was correct with those times. I just looked this up on the Facebook or the Twitter thread for Richmond Fire. So according to them, first call was 10:35, second alarm was at 10:50, and then at 11:09 is when parts of the roof started to collapse. So the fire crews moved to the outside and started to attack this fire defensively, is what the terminology is. And then it was finally marked under control around 2:45 this morning. Now, obviously, you've got the sun coming up. Not sure if that's going to hinder anything when it comes to trying to monitor those hot spots, because obviously if you're seeing embers in the dark, that'll give you a clear indication of where those hot spots might be. So, but these guys are professionals, so they probably know what to look for in terms of a fire of this magnitude in a building of this size. But again, you've got some folks who are starting to come out here right now on their morning walk, a very early morning walk, to see this for themselves. And unfortunately, many families may be waking up to this news, even some of these William Fox families, about their school being significantly destroyed from this fire. Jack, I know you asked if arson was connected. At this point, fire officials have not said anything. They are working to investigate. So that is, there's nothing on that at this point. Now, also, we do have several streets that are blocked off surrounding the school. So, again, if you live in the area, just be mindful of that. But again, those who do not live in the area, I know the city councilor is urging folks, please do not come down. Let these guys do their jobs, and ladies do their jobs, to make sure the situation is safe before they're able to officially leave the scene. All right, we're gonna walk down this way to give you a different angle of what everything looks like. And here you can just see parts of the roof just hanging off the side of the building. And this site right here just, it hits you really hard. The fact that you can see straight through into the sky. It's just, it's incredibly sad. And from what we're told, the fire spread really quick. So obviously it was an all hands on deck kind of situation. Multiple ladders in the air, as you see right here. We've got one here, we've got one on the other side, and then there was one put up on the street over there. So this is obviously a situation they're continuing to monitor and can run up that ladder just in case something happens. Now again, it's still too early to tell what exactly caused this fire. That is something the fire marshal's office will investigate thoroughly before releasing any information of that nature. But really, it's just it's a sad day for these families here in this neighborhood who have kids who went to this school or go to this school, and of course everyone who may have gone here themselves. Again, here's a road closure here around the school that you want to be mindful of. This is at Hanover and Stafford Ave. So this was where we were live this morning for our shows. And we will actually be live out here later this morning, all of this. And so we'll have much more coming up during that hour and a half later on television. But for now, you can always tune in to the latest developments, both online at NBC12.com or even via our news app. So make sure you download that because we'll be pushing out as much information about what may have happened here as soon as we can. But for now, I hope you all enjoy your morning. Take care.